after receiving mantra, then I was only having one attachment, that too with my mother. But because of hearing that Hari Katha, that attachment was also over. And Krishna arranged something. Around dusk, at dark, my mother, she went to milk cow, and there was a snake who bit my mother, and she died. Naraji said, I was not at all affected with this, because he is now a different personality. He is a different personality. Even he has not performed the final rites for his mother. Looks like rude, huh? There's a level, there's a stage where attachments, family attachment, have nothing to do. From gross level we can say, what? That's a rude son, this is a rude daughter, that's a rude father. Mahaprabhu very rude. He left his mother, old mother, and his beautiful wife. Very unpolite. This very gross level. But there's another level of understanding some other time. So Naraji said, then I crossed so many rivers, mountains, hills, and I entered in a dense forest. Very dense forest. And I did Achman. Naraji is specifically saying, I took bath in that river and I did Achman and sat under that tree and started chanting those mantras which I received from those sadhus with that Achman. And when I start chanting, reciting those mantras, immediately tears start flowing from my eyes. Goosebumps, sattvic vikars, transcendental symptom, ecstasy start manifesting in his body. And then, by the mercy of Krishna, he was able to see Krishna. Shiv Bhagwan appeared in front of Narad, and with tears in his eyes. Why Bhagwan appeared? Because prema already appeared in his heart. The qualification is the prema. Before prema is difficult. But because prema appeared in the heart of Naraji, with the mercy of those sadhus, and with the chanting of those mantras, Shiv Bhagwan in front of Narad is adoring the beauty of Shiv Bhagwan. But then, immediately he disappeared. And Narad said, I became so restless. I was running. Where is he? Where he is gone? Where he is gone? It's just like you achieved some wealth and you got lost that wealth overnight. You got lottery $100 million and you're so happy you start planning overnight what I'm going to do. 10 million here, 10 million there. And when you get up in the morning, stolen. It's more sad situation, right? If you have nothing, you're not worried. But if you have and you lose, then it's a depression. Naraji says, I was so restless. And then the Lord appeared, spoke, a aerial voice. Hanta asmini janmanan mame dushtamaharti avipak kashayanam durdosham ko yoginam. O Narad, avipak kashayanam. Those who have kashayas, means impurities, those whose yoga practice is not, the process has not completed, I never show myself to them. Because your process was complete and you have no impurities, that's why you're qualified to have my darshan. Because your process was complete. Many people say, oh, Narad process was not complete, and that's why Bhagwan appeared and then he disappeared. That's not true. Vishnu Chakur Thakur described, because Bhagwan said Because your process is complete, that's why I came and gave you darshan. But those whose process are not complete, I never give them my darshan. This proves Narad process was complete. That why Bhagavan disappeared and made him so sad and restless. That's called vipralambhav, separation. To create more and more, what is the word?
Hankering.
Huh?
Hankering.
Hankering, longing. To create more and more longing. That's the mercy of the Lord. To create more and more hankering. And that happens more in separation, less in union, and more in separation. Vipralambhav. So separation is not all in all, but separation helps, enhance in meeting, enhance that mood in the meeting. Bina vipralambena sambhog pushnim ashnuyat. Without vipralam, separation, there is no taste in meeting. To create that excitement, and this also, sometimes Shri Guru also does this. Even if you have achieved some level of having darshan, but they don't appear in front of you. They want to create more and more excitement and hankering and longing. Cry and weep and chant my names. And Narad felt unconscious there. In related to this unconscious state, Vishnu Chakur Thakur described in Madhurya Kadamuni, 5 times a sadhak who reached this stage get unconscious. Krishna appears when a sadhak achieve prema, just like not 100%, but on the edge of the prema, Krishna appears. Say kale Krishna kore tar atmasam. Initiation getting completed here. Moment the initiation get complete, Krishna is right in front. By hearing mantras, I said earlier, it's not the end of initiation, it's the beginning of initiation. The completion of initiation is when one achieves prema, Surup Siddhi. And more completion of prema, initiation is when achieve Vastu Siddhi, the service to divine couple. That's the completion of initiation. Say Kale Krishna Kore Tar Atmasam. At that moment, Krishna appears. And the sadhak seeing, with his eyes, seeing the beauty of Krishna, and all other senses give potency to the sense of vision to see, to adore the beauty of Krishna. But the sadhak can't, he falls unconscious. Krishna comes to that sadhak and whispers something in the ears. The words emanating from the lotus lips of Krishna, it's not ordinary words. Can you imagine? Nectarian, so much melodious words. But the sense of hearing is not enough to hold that. Therefore, all other senses give energy and potency to the sense of hearing, to relish that, the words of Krishna, to relish that. And sadhak, he see Krishna, but again fall unconscious. Then what happened? Krishna gives touch. And touch of Krishna is not ordinary touch. All sattvi vikars, transcendental ecstasies, all senses give energy and potency to the sense of touch. And sadhak sees Krishna, but again fall unconscious. Vishnu Chakur Thakur described Madhurya Kadamuni. And then Krishna, to to those sadhakas who are in dasya, sakhya and vatsalya mood, Krishna gave remnant from his mouth, some betel nut, something for sadhak to taste. And for Madhurya Ras, he actually gave kiss. And sadhaka feels so much. Hair stand on ends, tear come from his eyes, direct remnants from Krishna. Again unconscious. Can't see, can't hear him, can't touch him, can't taste him. Krishna feels so sad. My all opulence is for my devotees. If my devotees are not able to relish my opulence, why I'm holding these opulences? So the karuna of Krishna, the compassion of Krishna, encourages Krishna to create, not to create, to manifest or say to accelerate more prema in that heart of sadhaka. And when that sadhaka, he gets up, Krishna gives him a hug, a very tight embrace, a loving embrace, where Krishna also cries and sadhaka also cries. They drench each other with the tears of prema. I was longing for you. I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you. Just like Gop Kumar, Brihad Bhagavatamritam, Gop Kumar received Gopal mantra. What was the necessity to receive Gopal mantra then, if initiation is not required? And who gave the Gopal mantra to Gop Kumar? Krishna himself came as Guru. Krishna is saying this to Gop Kumar. I came myself as Guru to give you Gopal mantra. And Gop Kumar crossed all the layers, entered in Golok, in the pastimes of the Krishna, and Krishna gave a tight embrace. Then Krishna said, "Oh Sadhaka, you have tolerated so much for me. For me. Heat, cold, storm, rain, even abusements from people. So much you tolerated just for me, for my sake." And Sadhaka, in tears in his eyes, saying, "Oh Prabhu, please, I'm asking forgiveness from you. I offended you." Say, "You offended me? No, you sacrificed so much for me. You gave up your attachments, you gave up your family, you gave up everything. Not even attachment to your body, always remembering me and serving me. You did so much for me." Krishna is feeling obliged there. He's feeling indebted. And to this point, Shri Gurudev in Mathura Math, he used to say, what to speak of a sadhaka who achieve perfection, even a newcomer, who gives up all his attachments and with the intent to serve Krishna, he gives up his life. That I want to serve Krishna now. Krishna becomes indebted to that neophyte sadhaka. Feel indebted. Oh, because Alpa Seva Prabhu Bahu Kari Mani. That's the nature of Krishna. Small, minute seva, Krishna take this as such big, because big heart. Because you have a big heart, you take everything big. Oh, you done so much service to me, you take this as something very big and great, which is such small service. Or you offered tulsi for me. Or you fasted on my birthday. Coming soon, Janmashtami. Krishna is saying, "Oh Sadhak, you have done so much for me." He said, "No, Prabhu, I offended you." "How come you offended me?" "Oh, when I was describing your glories, when I used to describe your glories, I used to say, your eyes are like lotus. Your feet is just like lotus. Your hands are like lotus. When I'm seeing you in person, wow, That's offense I committed. Lotus is insignificant in comparison with your eyes. Your eyes are so beautiful. Lotus is nothing. I didn't had any other option to describe because lotus is so beautiful and it's only the only object I could have relate your beauty to. But when I'm seeing you in person, so now I'm thinking I'm committing offense to you. I compared your lotus eyes, your navel, your hands, your feet to a lotus. I'm not saying this, Vishnu Chakra Thakur describing this. So, 4 murchas, unconscious state. Shri Naraji going through this because of manifestation of prema in his heart. And hearing this word, aerial voice, Lord directly speaking to Narad. Oh Narad, you're not going to have my darshan anymore now, in this lifetime. But when you're going to give up your body, and you're going to take birth again, you will be my parikar, my parshad, Narad. And Narad, with this mood of longing and hankering for this, when I'm going to leave my body, when I'm going to die, when I'm going to die. And we are scared of dying. Narad wants to give up his body because he got this assurance from Bhagavan. You're going to become my parikar, my associate. And therefore Narad is continuously chanting these mantras. So Vishnu Chakra Thakur also described here another point, very important point. There was some kashai in Narad. Kashai means, what's a good word for that? Impediment in a very, 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 very subtle form. Kashai means, how to say? Okay, suppose if I write something on wall, then I clean that, but there's some impressions left on the wall. This very subtle impressions is called kashayas. And what was that kashaya Narad? Vishnu Chakra Thakur describing. If any deer, any animal coming in that forest, Narad used to say, oh, this is my place. This tree, I'm doing my bhajan here, this is my tree. This is my tree, let me do my bhajan. Very small little kashai. Oh, this is the forest. And forest is in a mode of goodness, but not beyond 3 modes of nature. And this particular tree where I am sitting under, this tree, this is my tree. Dear, go away from here and let me do my bhajan. That's called very minute, very subtle impression of attachment to that particular place where he is sitting and doing his bhajan. See how detailed he is explaining this. It's not a story. Shri Narad, who is Jagat Guru, in detail he is describing with his own example to his disciple how these impediments, these obstructions to our bhakti, even to this point, he saw Bhagavan, he saw Krishna, and he heard the aerial voice, the assurance, you're going to become my associate, but still that kashai is such an impediment. Whereas we are just struggling with the gross impediments for now. And we just want God, we just want to get perfection in this lifetime. Gurudev used to say, many devotees coming to me and say, Maharaj, or Shri Gurudev, or sometime Maharaj, when I'm going to become a Manjari? Gurudev used to say, you want to become a gopi? Those rishis in Dandakarne at the time of Lord Ram, they were chanting this Gopal mantra for 60,000 years. day and night, not 10 morning, 10 noon, 10 evening. 30 in the daytime. All day and all night long, 60,000 years meditating on, in seclusion, absorption in that Gopal mantra. And with that, and on the top of that, seeing Lord Ram. And then in the class in Mathura, Gurudev used to ask, oh, how many thousand years you chanting Gopal mantra? How many thousand years happened to you? And you? 5,000? And you? 2,000? Like this. Gurudev he was pointing. Only chanting 20, 30 years, 30 times a day, without absorption, and you think you will become a gopi, a manjari. Just by repeating gopi, gopi, you become a gopi. Not at all. And in his language, this idea is absurd. It's not a good idea. Keep on gathering Sukritis, Gurudev said. Serve Vaishnavas. Rub your nose under their feet. Serve them day and night. Meditate on this. Dhimahi. What is Dhimahi means? To meditate. Meditate on what? Srila Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Goswami describing Dhimahi means meditating on the service mood. What are you going to meditate on? Any artificial form? This Radha, this Krishna, any boy and girl? Dhimahi means meditating on the service mood. Kim karom me hum. Shri Madhavendra Puripad, when he was manifesting sickness past time, in separation from Krishna, he is chanting, Aye deen dayard nath hai, mathra nath, kadav alokashe. Hidem tav alok kataram, dait brahmati kim karom me hum. Oh, the Lord of Mathura, where are you? Where are you? I am feeling separation from you. Please manifest yourself. What shall I do to have your darshan? Kim karom me hum? Kim karom me hum? Kim karom me hum? What shall I do? What shall I do? What shall I do? This Kim karom me hum is Kinkari Bhav. It's a Manjari Bhav, where they always and always meditating on how to unite Radha and Krishna, how to manifest more and more pastimes, how to arrange the kunjas, how to arrange the swing, all that. Kim karom me hum, kim karom me hum, kim karom me hum. This is Manjari Bhav. So meditate on how to serve the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hari Guru Vaishnavas. Dhimahi. Dhimahi. So Shri Narad, that Kashai was an obstruction. And he is now waiting and waiting. When I'm going to leave this body? And the time came. He entered in the body of Brahma. He entered in the body of Brahma, and after thousands of years of annihilations, when the time came for creation, Brahma did creation. Shri Narad is saying to Vyasadeva, then I appeared as son of Brahma. But wait a minute. The Lord announced, you're going to become my associate in next birth. So now this Narad is associate of Lord. How can he be addressed as son of Brahma? A question arises here. We are going deep and deep and deep. We could have just explained and running Bhagavatam in 7 days finish. Like story formation. Story means, Dhruv Maharaj got abused by stepmother. He went to forest. 6 months he had darshan of the Lord. He came back. And Dhruv Maharaj ki jai. 30 minutes, Dhruv Maharaj over. Baba, there's so many details in the pastime of Dhruv Maharaj. There's so many details, each and every step, what Narad is saying, what he's giving to Vyasadeva, what he's showing to Vyasadeva, what we are driving the lesson from this. There's so many details. My style, my mood is more like this. Take one topic and churn it nicely from every angle, from every prospect, so that I can feel inspired to do my bhajan, and I can serve everyone to feel inspired to do bhajan. First of all, I myself. There are many audience here, but I have a two very great audience, very close to me, and I'm proud of those two audience who are next to me. What are those two audience? My 2 years. I'm speaking to myself, that's closest to me, to get inspired, to myself get inspired. There's the two audience I always have with me. So then why Narad is addressed as son of Brahma? Shri Vishnu Thakur described Krishna being Supreme Personality of Godhead. He entered in the womb of Mother Devaki. And if he can be addressed as Devaki Nandan Krishna, then why can't Narad be addressed as Brahma Putra Narad? It has nothing to do. If Vara Bhagwan, okay, from where Vara Bhagwan appeared? From the nostrils of Brahma. So then is that called, can we say that Brahma is father of Vara Bhagwan? And what is this process of taking birth from the nostrils? So these rules doesn't apply to Lord and his associates who become eternal associates, means the parikars. So Narad became son of Brahma. That doesn't mean actually Narad is son of Brahma. Narad is associate now with another title, Bhagavat Parshad De Prapt. Before Narad, as a son of maid servant was, what the name? Murchita Kasai. There are three, Murchita Kasai, Nirdut Kasai. The Murchit Kasai means Narad as a son of a maid servant, and Nirdut Kasai is Shukdev Goswami. And Bhagavat Parshad De Prapt is Narad as associate of Krishna. Why it is so? Shri Narad is describing. Along with me, my brothers also created by Brahma. Who are the brothers? 4 Kumaras. And Marichi. But my other brothers, Marich, they inclined and they only followed the path of karma. And my other brothers, 4 Kumaras, they choose the path of Gyan Marg, Gyanis. And I chose Bhakti. I chose Bhakti path. And that's why, because they got entangled in just Karma Marg, they're always busy in Karma Marg, they have no access to travel all other universes. Their movement is restricted. And because my other brothers, 4 Kumaras, following the process of Gyan Marg, they also have no access to travel all other universes. But because I chose the Bhakti Marg, I have access to travel all universes, in and out, wherever I can go. And by saying so, Narad is describing the superiority of, the predominance of Bhakti over Gyan, Karma and Gyan. Bhakti Maharani, Hari Bhakti Mahadevya Sarva Muktadi Siddhai. When Bhakti Maharani walks, in Bhakti Swami Sindhu, Rup Goswami Pad is describing, when Bhakti Maharani walks, then all other siddhis, perfections and Gyan, They're holding umbrella on her. They're sprinkling water, flowers, and they're performing chamar, fanning. Because Bhakti Maharani, Hari Bhakti Mahadevya, Sarva Muktadi Siddhai. Everyone falling like a maid servant behind Shri Bhakti Maharani. You know? And Narad is saying, because of this, I have access to travel in and out anywhere I want. And then Krishna gave me a beautiful instrument. Krishna is very fond of instrument. What instrument he has? Aman? No, Krishna. Flute. How many kinds of varieties of flutes? 3. Venu, Murali, Vamshi. Like 3 phones. Venu, Murali, Vamshi. And Rup Goswami Pad, so much details. How many holes Venu has? How many holes Vamshi? What is the size of Venu, Vamshi and Murali? Is all different. It's not same. And for different purpose. He has specifically for gopis. And is very fond of his and very egoistic about his instrument. Very egoistic. Where play on flute and making troubles to all the gopis. And they have to give up all other household activities to run and come to Krishna. Parveshyantam hitva payantam shishupayanam shushwant patim satim ashnashapasya bhojanam limpate parimajataso anjakasya lochanam. 10th canto Bhagavatam, Ras Leela. Krishna played on flute to serve Radharani, not to enjoy Ras Leela. To serve Radharani. That's the intent behind. To serve Radharani with this pastime. So this is not Kama Leela. This is not to enjoy, this is to serve Leela. And when he played on flute, and all the gopis came running, giving up all their household activities. What are activities? What I said? Parveshyantam hitva. They were serving their husbands. Gave up this. Payantam shishu payanam. Feeding the kids. Taking care of the children. Gave up that. Milking cows. Gave up that. Decorating their bodies. Kajal in one eye. I forgot to put other eye. One earring, not the other ear. Everything disarranged because of flute. And when Radharani approached to Krishna, and once upon a time she told Krishna, you know what we go through when you play on flute and then you disappear and you twist your words? This is, Krishna is very playful. Dhir Lalit Nayak. Played on flute to welcome gopis, to invite them, and when they came there, Swagatam Mahabhaga, welcome, welcome. But why you came here? So disheartening when you say like this. And they planned, one day we're going to steal his flute. Then we'll say what he was going to, then we will see what he's going to do. They made a plan. And all the gopis, they sat in a row, Lalita, Vishakha, and they start speaking to Krishna. And engaged Krishna in their words. Krishna got lost. And Lalita, she took a flute, she handed over to Vishakha, Tungvidya, Champaklata, Sudevi, Rangadevi, and passed on to Radharani. And Krishna saw, Radharani is playing my flute. And she can play better. Much better than me. Re daro na basuri mori, Shri Radhe Rani. Re daro na basuri mori, या वंशी में मेरे प्राण बसत है, सो वंशी गई चोरी. राधे रानी, ओ राधा रानी. Please return my flute. How I'm going to play with? How I'm going to call my cows? A beautiful bhajan in Braj. है ना? God knows. In Mathura, Gurudev used to, he loves to hear all those bhajans, na? From Braj. Anyhow, so Krishna gave a veena. What's the name of that veena? Anyone? The veena in the hand of Naradji. Narad Muni bajaye veena. Radhika Ramana Rami. Which veena is that? No?
Stump them.
Huh?
Stump
Dev Datta. The veena of Narad. Bhagavatam. Huh? But very interesting from here, from this point on. Very interesting point. Naradji now he became associate. And he have access to go anywhere. He's wandering now and he's pondering also on the matter, who is the best recipient of the mercy of Krishna? So he did a research, a PhD. He wrote a thesis. The first PhD, the research, is by Naradji. Who is the best recipient of the mercy of the Lord? And from there starts Brihad Bhagavatamritam. Narad went to, just shortcut, Indra. Oh Indra, you are the best recipient of the mercy of Lord. Because the Lord as Vaman. What does it mean Vaman? Another name of Vaman is Upendra. He's like your younger brother staying with you in your abode, heavenly planet, in Swargaloka. And Indra said, no, Naraji, this is wrong. I'm not a recipient of the mercy of Lord. I'm offender. I offended him. And Indra, with so much humility, is describing, so many times I offended him. You see what happened in Braj? I became so egoistic that I know everything and I can do everything, and I want to destroy Braj by heavy showers and thunder. I want to destroy. That was my offense to Krishna. And later on also, Prabhu came to get this Parijat tree, and I start fighting with him. What can I tell you? I'm so embarrassed. I'm not the recipient of the mercy. If you want to see who is the best recipient of the mercy of Krishna, please go to Brahma. Go to Brahma. Naraji came to Brahma. Oh Father, praising, oh Brahma, you are the best recipient of the mercy of the Lord. Brahma said, Narad, even though you are my son, but I tell you the facts, actually I am the big offender. Big offender than Indra. Because I stole calves and cowherd boys of Krishna. When I remember this, so I am not the recipient of the mercy. Narad said, but who is the recipient of the mercy? Then Brahma said, go to Shiva. Now here, the commentaries in Brihad Bhagavatamritam, why Brahma sent him to Shiva Lok? Brahma, he was in Braj, he saw the Mahima, the glories of Brajvasis. And even though he prayed that, what he prayed after seeing the glories of Brajvasis, Tad bhuri bhagyam iha janma kimapi atayam. Yad gokulape katav angri rajobhishekam. I want to become a stone in Braj. I just want to become a stone in Braj. Where the maid servants, when they're walking, they can scrap their feet on me. And I get their foot dust. I just want to become a stone. So why Brahma is not telling Brajvasi is the best recipient? Adhikar bhed. Everyone is not on that adhikar. Even by seeing this, as I said in the beginning, everyone taking the remnants of Gurudev, everyone is not same. With what adhikar you are accepting, that matters a lot. With what adhikar you are accepting that, it matters a lot. Similarly, Brahma is thinking, even though my lifespan is I have very big lifespan. How many years Brahma lives? 100 years. But one day of Brahma is Mahibat Prabhu?
4,300,000,000.
My goodness. So big. Means 4 yugas, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, Kal Yuga. 4 yuga passed 71 times is one mantra. When 14 such one mantra pass, that's daylight of Brahma. And then it's similar the night of Brahma. That's one day, 24 hours. But even then, there's end. Okay, what is the age of Brahma now? Huh?
51.
Yes. One prarabdha is done. He entered another 51. 51. But there's an end to the life of Brahma. But Brahma is thinking, Shiva has no end. So why he's sending Narada to Shiva? There's a purpose. It's not just randomly like this. From this prospect, Shiva has no end to his life. So Brahma is only thinking from his prospect that he has end to his life, but Shiva has no end to his life. Only from that adhikar. Understand? Understand? I don't know if everyone is understanding this. No. If I know some little singing, then if someone asks me, who's the best singer? I say, Raghunath Prabhu is the best singer. Because I am relating only to what adhikar I have, only to this much. That's only my access. There might be many other singers. But I am only thinking about to whom I can relate better. And this is also a point in back of the head of Brahma. He got chastised by Narsimha Bhagwan. When he killed Hiranyakashipu, Narsimha Bhagwan killed Hiranyakashipu. And Brahma came forward, Prabhu, to pacify Narsimha Bhagwan. So nice, you killed this great demon. And in front of everyone, the Lord, he chastised Brahma. This is how you have to give boons. In front of everyone, all demigods were there. Brahma felt so embarrassed. And what he's thinking? Shiva gave boons to so many demons, Bhagwan never chastised him. I gave to one only, and in front of everyone he chastised me. He stepped back. So Shiva is the best recipient. So only according to his adhikar. I have an end to my life, but Shiva has no end to his life. Even though he witnessed the Braj Leela. But everyone has no adhikar. It's very important. Adhikar bhed. Always. In many pastimes or understandings, reciprocations of acharyas, adhikar bhed. It's a very essential point. All disciples have no same adhikar. Everyone has their own, containers, means qualifications to hold that mercy also. So Shiva, Naraji went to Shiva. This is the research. And whatever he researched, spent down by Sanatana Goswami Pad. That's the research of Narad. Thesis. The best recipient of the mercy. Narad went to Shiva. Glorified Shiva. Shiva said, oh, I also offended Krishna so many times. I fought with him in Dwarka Leela. So I am not the recipient of the mercy. Very short, cut short story. Otherwise, it's like 3 volumes, Brihad Bhagavatamritam. Then Naraji said, can you please help me and tell me who's the best recipient of the mercy? Now Shiva is, because he is devotee. Vaishnav Nam Yatha Shambhu, the best amongst all the Vaishnavas. And he is the one who recites Bhagavatam, and he is the one who hears Bhagavatam all the time. He knows the purport of Bhagavatam. And then he is pondering on this. I can send Narad to Lakshmi Devi. She always massage the feet of Vishnu, but no. He took this one verse from Bhagavatam, where Krishna, addressing to Uddhav, Na yatha me priyatma, atma yoni na shankara, na sankarshno na cha shri, naivatma cha yatha bhavan. Krishna is addressing to Uddhav. Oh Uddhav, my brother Sankarshan is not dear to me. My consort Lakshmi is not also dear to me. My son Brahma, emanate from my navel, is not dear to me. My own self is not dear to me as much as you, Uddhav, my devotee, is dear to me. And from there, Shiva changed the course. Krishna said this, not an ordinary person saying this. Krishna is the evidence. And he addressed this direct to Uddhav, saying even his self is not dear to him, Lakshmi is not dear, Brahma is not dear, Sankarshan is not dear. You Uddhav, because you are devotee. So that means the recipient of the mercy of Krishna is not demigods, no anyone, not even Lakshmi, is devotees. And therefore Shiva said, Narad, go to Prahlad. He is a devotee. Then Naraji came to Prahlad Maharaj, glorifying him. Prahlad Maharaj became so embarrassed. Gurudev, what are you doing? I am your disciple. Disciple glorify Guru. But how glorious is that disciple? That Guru glorified disciple. How glorious is that disciple as Dhruv Maharaj. Narad came to his father Utanpad and glorified. Oh, I got a disciple. I got a disciple. I gave mantra to him, and you see in 6 months, he had darshan of the Lord. How glorious is that disciple to whom Guru glorify him. So Naraji glorifying Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj said, no, I'm a Jnani. Narsingh Bhagwan came to me. I didn't serve him. I think he don't need any service. I'm a Jnani Bhakta. If you want to see the recipient of the mercy, go to Hanuman. And Naraji came to Hanuman. Hanuman said, I'm not. All this story. Came to Pandavas, Arjun. And then from Pandavas, then Uddhav. Completing his, PhD is like different levels. Coming to the final conclusion. This level of PhD. Uddhav, you're the best recipient of the mercy. Uddhav said, not at all. But I can tell you who is the best recipient of the mercy. I went to Braj and I saw this with my own eyes. Eyewitness. Krishna inspired me to go to Braj. Gacha Uddham Brajam Somyam Pitro na Pitrim Ahunam Gopi Namma Vyogadi Masandesh Vimochaya. Krishna told Uddhav to go and pacify my parents and give my message to my Braj Gopis. I went there. My all gyan, my all pride that I know so much. It's all just got diminished there, faded there. And I prayed, Vande Brajistrinam Pad Renu Abhikshana Yasam Hari Katho Gitam Punati Bhuvanatayam Asam Oho Charan Renu Jushamyam Syam. I prayed to the one dust of the lotus feet of Shri Radharani. So Naraji, this is the conclusion. No, don't have to go here and there. If you want to go to the best recipient of the mercy, that I can say I'm the best recipient of the mercy But that's the ultimate limit. Where Krishna goes and beg there. Not Radharani goes to Krishna and beg. Krishna goes to beg at the lotus feet of Radharani. And in this way, there are so many glories. Uddhav Narad is hearing the glories of Radharani. Aha, aha, aha. And then Naradji thought, I gave so many initiations. I made so many bhaktas. Dhruv, Prahlad, even Vyasadev and many other. Valmiki. And with my mercy, they all attained Lord. And I am also a recipient of the mercy of Bhagavan. But there is something more to be achieved. This is not ultimate. There is something more to be achieved. And what is that? The dust of the lotus feet of Shri Radharani. To become a maid servant of Radharani. A greed developed in the heart of Shri Narad. How this greed develops? When one see or hear the reciprocation of Ragatmik Bhaktas. Who are Ragatmik Bhaktas? Ishte Swarsaki Ragam. Shri Rupa Goswami Pad described. Those who have Swabhavik, spontaneous love for Krishna. Who are those? Braj Gopis. It's not that love was developed. It's not that love was developed. It is spontaneous. Ishte Swarsaki Ragam. Param Bhavish Tad Bhavet. Tanmaya Bhavet Bhakti Saragatmika Uchyate. Spontaneous love for Krishna. Not that Krishna, you are Supreme Lord, let me build some relationship with you. Spontaneous love. That's Ragatmika. And following the footsteps of Ragatmika is called Raganuga Bhakti. Ragatmika Anusmritya Sacha Raganuga Uchyate. Following the footsteps of Ragatmika Bhaktas is called Raganuga Bhakti. And the only ingredient required for Raganuga Bhakti, Shri Gurudev always emphasized on this, is greed. Lolyam, lolyam, lolyam. A greed, a greed, a greed. And how the greed develops? Not by hearing tattva. Greed develops by hearing pastimes. Sridham Prabhu is happy. Bhagavad Gita is tattva. Instructions. Greed doesn't develop. Greed of what? Not greed for bhakti. Greed for becoming the maid servant of Radharani. That Raganuga Bhakti. Not the journal greed I am speaking about. That can only be possible by hearing Braj Leela. And Shri Gurudev, who is Brajvasi, he developed that greed in the heart of everyone. He initiated everyone. Initiation means what? Giving a seed of the mantra. He gave the seed in the heart of everyone in the entire universe. What is the seed which Gurudev planted? Lolyam, the greed. Even seeing we are not qualified, without any consideration, he knows. He used to tell, I know, I'm here speaking all this, and maybe 2 or 5 of you can understand, but at least there will be greed in the heart. And I am here to plant that seed of greed, the lolyam of Raganuga Bhakti in the heart of all people in the world, all devotees in the world. That's my seva to my Guru Parampara. Because this is what they wanted to give. This is what Swami Prabhupada came to give. And he handed over this to me. So therefore I am his best friend, I am his best servant, I am his best disciple. That was the mood of my Shiksha Guru, Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And therefore I came to give this, not to take anything from you. Imagine what he has given to us. Kripa Bindu Diya. What is that Kripa Bindu? Koroi Dase Tirnabeka Atihina. What is that Kripa Bindu? A drop. Lolyam. A greed for Braj Leela. Prior to Srila Gurudev, Many acharyas were describing, all due respect to them, but not that elaborate and not that openly. Opened that chest as Shri Rupa Goswami Pad opened this chest. Yang Kali Rupa Sharira Nadharata Tam Braja Prema Mahanidhi Kutarita Kaun Kapat Udharata. Just like Shri Rupa Goswami Pad opened this, Shri Gurudev opened more and he started distributing this. And the only problem is, he was distributing this jewels which was kept hidden in the chest, and we received those jewels, but we took this as candies. You know, the kids here, if we throw diamonds to them, they will think this is a game, or this is a toy, a ball to play with. But mother, we're going to say, "Oi, what are you doing? This is diamond." We are taking those as candies, but for Gurudev it was jewels, adhikar. You know? That's Raganuga Bhakti, greed. And by hearing and going through all this research, Shri Naraji is finally hearing from Uddhav, came to Braj, and he developed that greed, lolyam, and therefore following the footsteps of Braj Gopis. That's the only way. There's no other shortcuts. He went to Govardhan. Why Govardhan? Nirupadhikarunena Shisachi Nandanena Tai kapati shatopi tad priyarpanotosmi iti khalu mama yogya yogatam tamam grinam nija nikata nivasam dehi govardhanatvam Nirupadhikarunena. Oh Shri Raghunath Das, choose some other place in Braj. Why Govardhan only? Nirupadhi karunena. Nirupadhi means without any consideration, with out of compassion. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inspired me to go here, to come here. Not going detail into this. Shri Sachinandena. So Giraj Govardhan, who are you? Haridas Varjyo, the best of all Haridas, who's serving the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Pramada Madana Leela Kandare Kandarate Rachayati Navayuno Dandamasmi Namanda. You're serving the pastimes of Radha Krishna by supplying caves and all that. And you are the best amongst all the Haridas. You are the heart of Radharani. You are Ashya Vigraha. You're the best because Shri Radharani declared you as you are the best of all Haridas. So, if Radharani declared with her lotus lips, Shri Naraji, I want to reside in Giraj Govardhan. Nij nikat nivasam dehi govardhanatam. And just opposite to Kusum Sarovar, Shri Narad Kund, the place where Shri Narad performed austerities, waiting and waiting and waiting for one sidelong glance. And praying what? Muninda vrinda vandite triloka shoka harani prasanda vaktra pankaje nikunja bhuvilasani brajenda bhanu nandani sonu sangate kada karishasi hamam kripa katak. One kripa katak, one sidelong glance, that's enough for me. Oh Radhaju, just one dust from your lotus feet is enough for me. Pleased by Naraji, Radharani gave him entrance in her Nij Gane Gana Vidhehi, in her entourage. And Shri Naraji, for that journey, he ended up with the final destination, become the maid servant of Shri Radharani as Naradiya Gopi. And sadhus in Braj, they say that Veena is given by Radharani, Devdatta. She gave that Veena to Narad. And Naradiya Gopi, she sings the glories of Radha and Krishna on that Veena. And this is a veena which Narad is carrying and playing everywhere. Narad Muni bajaye veena. Narad Muni bajaye veena. Radhika Raman Name. Radha Raman, Radha Raman, Radha Raman. That's the whole story of Shri Narad. The transition from his being a son of a maid servant and all the way to become Naradi Gopi. This is a collection from Srimad Bhagavatam, Shibriyat Bhagavatamritam, and the facts. How Naraji became Naradi Gopi. And Narad is Jagat Guru, who is giving what? Prem Prasavat. Veena Bajavat, Hari Gun Gavat, or Prem Prasavat. Playing on his Veena and speaking the glories of Radha and Krishna and distributing prema to everyone, inspiring everyone. If there is any ultimate goal of life, that's only in Braj, and that is to attain Radha Dasyam. Shri Vyasadev, 5 more minutes, ending up. Srila Vyasadev, after hearing Naradji describing from his own lotus lips his whole life story, he felt so blessed. And this is called completion of initiation. Shri Vyasadev then he sat in Samadhi. What Samadhi is this? Bhakti Yogena Manasi Samyak Pratape Amale Aparshat Purusham Purnam Mayastat Padashrayam. Bhakti Yogena Manasi. The Samadhi of Bhakti Yoga. Which Bhakti Yoga? Question arises here. Bhakti Yoga of 3 kinds. Was Vyasadev sat in Sadhan Bhakti Yoga or Bhav Vyakti Yoga or Prem Bhakti Yoga? Shri Jiva Goswami Pad described Prem Bhakti Yoga. He got this prema from Naraji. With that Prem Bhakti Yoga na Manasi Samyak Pratyapya Male. Because what he's saying, Apushat Purusham Purnam. Apashyat Purusham Purnam. He's saying Param Purusha means Krishna. When he say, the shloka says he's seeing Krishna, that doesn't mean he's only seeing Krishna. He's seeing Vrindavan Dham. He's seeing all the pastimes of Krishna which Naraji described to him. He's seeing the complete entourage of Krishna. And that can only be perceived with Prem Bhakti Yoga, not even Sadhan or a Bhav Bhakti. This proves Vyasadev is in Prem Bhakti Yoga, Samadhi in the Prem Bhakti Yoga. Apashyat Purusham Purnam Mayastat Padashrayam. And he also saw Maya behind Krishna. Maya never comes. The external energy of Lord never comes in front of Krishna. She feels so embarrassed because her role is like that. What is her role? To make jivas averse towards Krishna. But this other role of Maya, this is again a very elaborate subject. To describe this, it's going to take another hour. But in short, Maya Devi also helps a jiva. In just short, I'm saying this. She also helps jiva to come to Krishna. How? By beating. Kaviraj Goswami Chaitanya Charitamrita described in previous ages how a king used to punish any criminal. Guards, take him in the water, in the river, and make him dip in the water. They used to push the guy in the water and get breathless. And for 1 minute, taking him out. What a relief. And again putting him down. Like this. Punishment. Maya Devi is doing like this. 8 months in depression, in problems, in troubles, turbulences, and just 1 month, Happy Christmas, Happy New Year. Ah, what a relief. Again start from January. Boom, down. Dandagena Raja, Nadi te Dubai. Just like a king gives order to his guards, Maya Devi is pushing a jiva. It's a push by giving troubles and problems with his three strings. Ah, ignorance, passion, and goodness with three strings. Pushing the jiva, bringing that jiva to this point. I'm now tired. I'm tired of so much suffering. Enough, enough, enough now. Who brought us to this point of realizing and understanding that it's enough now? It's Maya Devi with that push of giving sufferings. And when a point comes at this edge, I'm tired now, I want really happiness. Then from that point on, a jiva starts seeking for happiness. And then, this is again another push. Oh, I'm seeking happiness here. I'm seeking happiness in this object. I'm seeking happiness in this affair. I'm seeking happiness in that relationship. But every affair, every relationship, every object, instead of giving ultimate happiness, turning out again into more sufferings. And then, while wandering here and there, bhavapavargo brahmato yada bhave janasya tad achut sasamagava. This is from where God Sundar Prabhu start, and I'm ending up here. While wandering here and there in the material world, again and again, the cycle of birth and death comes to end of a jiva. Then he comes through sadhu sangha. After enjoying, a saturation point comes and turns to more suffering. Then once upon a time, just randomly, a guy enters in Shiva Sangam, sitting there, hearing Bhagavatam, and see the deities, see the Shri Gurudev, honor Prasad, and he's feeling, wow, what is this happiness? I never ever tasted this before. This is something great. I've gone through many enjoyments, but this enjoyment is something different. This is spiritual. This is related to my spirit. And I'm feeling so much excitement to hear more and more and more. Satsango yahi taded. Paraveshyatoi jayate rati. And after constantly hearing from that sadhu, an elevation of consciousness. Before the consciousness was very low. Now by hearing these topics, the elevation of consciousness. With that elevation of consciousness, more enjoyments. And enjoyments now turning into bliss. And that bliss is turning into devotion. And the devotion is now turning into more bliss. And becomes so addicted to this, addiction to this, don't want to give up. Again and again coming to Shiva Sangam, helping, cleaning, helping, singing, learning more and more, and finally become a devotee. And then taking initiation, start chanting, following principles, and paraveshyatoi jayate rati. Gradually realizing spiritual matters. This is the transition. This is the journey. This is how, and who brought us to this point? External energy, Maya, with that push. So it's not a negative energy. There's a positivity there. She brings us to this point because she's external energy of Lord. From external, give us entrance to the internal. Okay, I'm not very good. I don't have a good role, but I'm forwarding you or handing over you in a very good role. Yogamaya, internal potency. See, Vyasadeva saw this. Anarthapasam sakshat bhakti yog madhokshaje lok syar vidas chakran sattva sahitam. And how the jivas who are entangled in this Maya, how they can get out of this? By hearing Sattva Sahitam, Srimad Bhagavatam, which described what? Yasya Vaishunamayanam Krishna Param Purushe Bhakti Rutpatti Pumsam Shok Mo Bhay Paya. Yasya Vaishunamayanam. Anyone who hears the pastimes of Krishna as described in Srimad Bhagavatam, what will happen? Get rid of shok, lamentation, moh, bewilderment, shok, moh, and fear. There's only three things which always entangles us: lamentation, fear, and bewilderment. This is one level, but there's another level. And what is another level? More and more you're going to don't hear, the newcomers don't hear this, otherwise you get bewildered to hear what I'm saying. But this is also encouragement. If you hear more and more about Krishna, more lamentation, more fear, and more bewilderment, as is happening with the gopis, lamenting. Nanda Nandana Yashoda Jivana He Shri Madhava He Madhusudana Jayati Te Dikam Janmana Vraja Shayata Indira Shashvadatrahi Daita Dikshuta Dikshutavaka Tam Vichinvate. Lamentation. The song sung by the gopis, the 5 important Gita, is all in lamentation. More and more you hear Krishna, more and more lamentation. Means a bliss. Do not take lamentation, the material lamentation. This is transcendental and spiritual lamentation. And more fear. How come more fear? Oh, I may lose Krishna. I may lose Krishna. Why is he not here? Where is he? Where shall I go? Where will I find Krishna? Kahan jaun, kahan paun Brajendra Nandan. More fear. What if Krishna will leave me? Constantly thinking of Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. More fear and more bewilderment. This happens another level of hearing more and more about Krishna. This is spiritual lamentation, transcendental lamentation. This is transcendental fear, and this is transcendental bewilderment. But with this transcendentalness, the material lamentation and material fear and material bewilderment just get faded. Raso varjam rasam sheshnam. If you develop higher taste, the low taste immediately get fade. Bhagavad Gita. What is that verse? Visham param nivartante. Yes? When you develop higher taste, the low taste gone. So when you develop transcendental lamentation, then the material lamentation fades away. It's going to be there, but fades. Transcendental fear, then material fear fades. How? By hearing Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran. Bolo Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki jai. Shri Narad ji ki jai. Shri Braj Gopis ki jai. Shri Radha Rani ki jai. How many of you been in Vrindavan? How many of you been in Vrindavan? Visit Vrindavan. And what we hear in Vrindavan, one common word we hear all the time. Huh? Brajvasis, they are not so soft. How they say? Yes, this is Brajvasis. Bolo Shri Radha Rani ki jai. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Shila Gurudev ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. We're going to hear more tomorrow. Gaur Aarti.